Okay, right, in this video, you're going to look at classic exam style questions, okay? So it says, in each case, find the equation of the line with the given properties. It's parallel to y equals 2x plus 3. And, do you know what, I'm actually going to ignore number 1 because it's a stupid question. Let's go straight to number 2. We're looking for a line that is parallel to y equals 7 minus x and goes through 5, 0. So we're just going to visualize what the question means, okay? So the question is basically saying you already have a line that is y equals 7 minus x. Now that line has a y-intercept at 7, just change the colour, so it would be about here, and a gradient of -1, so something like this. Okay, that's 0, 7. Now the question is, so let's just call this line 1. The question is saying find another line, a different line, okay, that is parallel to that line and passes through the point 5, 0. So that would be, say, somewhere like this. 5, 0 would be somewhere like this. So we need to find a different line, let's call that line 2, that is parallel to the blue line and it passes through the point 5, 0. That is to say, when x is 5, y is 0. So that's easily done, because we know, because it's a straight line, it will have equation y equals mx plus c, where m is the gradient. Now, since it's parallel to the blue line with a gradient of -1, well, then the gradient of my new green line is also going to be -1. So y is going to be equal to -x plus c. How do I find c? Easy, because I'm told a point that the line must pass through. So if x is equal to 5, y is equal to 0, so I'm going to substitute those values into the equation. So y is 0 when x is 5. So -5 plus c. So c must be equal to 5. So now we can substitute c back into the equation. We know that the green line has equation y equals -x plus 5, or y equals 5 minus x, whatever. It doesn't really matter how you write it. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Let's just do a couple more examples. Let's do 3. So again, we're parallel to the equation y equals 2x minus 9. So we've got one line, would look something like that. We need another line that goes through -8, 7, somewhere like this. And the two lines have to be parallel. So I know my equation must be y equals mx plus c because it's a line. And I know it's parallel to the other line, 2x minus, so it's got the same gradient. What I don't know is where is it going to intercept the y-axis, but I can substitute in because I know my new line passes through this point. So if x is -8, y is 7. So 7 equals -16 plus c, and so c would be equal to 23. So my equation is y equals 2x plus 23. And that makes sense. You could see this line is passing the y-axis way up high. So it's sort of logical and it makes sense. Okay, I'm going to skip question 4 and come back to it. I'm going to do question 5 first. Okay, so this time we're perpendicular to a line y equals 4 plus 2x. So that has y-intercept of 4 and a gradient of 2. So let's say it's something like this. So this is my line 1. I need to find a new line that passes through -2, 5. Let's say that would be maybe somewhere like that. And this new line is perpendicular to my other line. Okay, makes a right angle. Well, my new line must have equation y equals mx plus c because it's a line. And the gradient, we should be able to know what that is. Well, because the gradient of the red line is 2, the gradient of the blue line must be the negative reciprocal of that line because they are perpendicular. So y is equal to minus a half x plus something. The negative reciprocal of 2 is minus a half. And again, I know a point that it's going to pass through, so I'm going to substitute that in. If y is 5, x is negative 2. So 5 will become equal to 1 plus c. So c is equal to 4. Okay, so now we know the answer. It's y is equal to minus a half x plus 4. Same y-intercept, actually. My diagram wasn't so bad. Okay, again, my diagram doesn't need to be good, it just needs to be useful. Now I'm going to just skip back now to question 4 because it's slightly different. Let's have a look at this. We need to find the equation of a line that's perpendicular to y equals 4. Well, y equals 4 is a horizontal line like this. Okay? And my new line must go through 5, 7. So let's say that's somewhere like that. Well, if it is perpendicular, then it must be vertical. Okay? And it's passing through 5, 7. Well, what is the equation of this blue line? It must simply be x equals 5. Okay? So x equals 5 is perpendicular to y equals 4 and will pass through the point 5,7. It will pass through the point 5 anything, because that's the whole idea of those vertical lines. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Please let me know if anything is not clear. So I'm going to do a couple of these. This is very basic stuff. You've got to remember that when you've got an equation, all you're doing is mapping values of x and values of y. Okay. So which of the following lines passes through the above point? So just substitute in your values of x and y. If y is 5, x is 3, so 5 is equal to 6 plus 2, 5 is equal to 8. That equation is wrong, so therefore 3, 5 cannot pass through that line. Okay, what about the other one? If y is 5, x is 3, 5 equals 12 minus 8, 5 is equal to 4. It cannot possibly pass through that line. Let's just check the last one. Y is equal to 1/3 times, 5 is equal to 1/3 times 3 plus 4. 5 is equal to 1 plus 4. 5 is equal to 5. This is true. The point 3, 5 must pass through that line. Or rather, the line must pass through that point. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. This time we're asked which of the following lines does not pass through the above point. So sub in. If y is 4, x is 2. It must pass through that point. If y is, again we're going for y is 4, x is 2, then 4 is equal to 4 minus 4, 4 is equal to 0, no way, it couldn't pass through that point. So that's the answer. Let's just check the other one to make sure we haven't made any cock-ups. Okay, so again, y is 4, x is 2, 4 equals 1 plus 3, so 4 equals 4, yeah, it does pass through that point. So there is the answer. That is the line where that does not pass through the point 2, 4. Okay, so we've got to learn to sub-point in to y equals mx plus c. If we know a point, we know what the y value is and we know what the x value is. Okay, it might help us find the gradient and the y-intercept. Let's just skip these two questions. Right, have a go at these questions. So you've got to find another line that is parallel to the line given and go through a certain point. Okay, stop the video and have a go. Okay, here are the answers. Okay, if you've got any wrong and you're not sure why, just ask. I'm going to skip these ones and go straight to these ones. So here we've got to find another line that is perpendicular to the given lines and passes through a given point. Okay, stop your video and have a go. Okay, here's the answers. Any problems, any concerns? You don't know why you're getting some wrong, please just ask. Okay? Now, a classic exam style question might be for you to tell me the equation of a line that passes through 2 points. Okay, so we've got 2 points here, 0, 4 and 3, 10. Now again, because it's a line, we know it's y equals mx plus c. And because we've got 2 points, we should be able to know what the gradient is. A couple of weeks ago, we learned that the gradient has this formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Please don't get that the wrong way round. So we're going to do 10 minus 4 over 3 minus 0 equals 6 over 3 equals 2. So we know the gradient of the line between these 2 points is 2. So now we know my equation is y equals 2x plus c. How do I find out the c? Substitute in a point. And it doesn't matter which point you choose, it will give you the same answer. So I can choose this point, or I can choose this point. I'm going to choose this one because it's just easier. X is 0, makes it nice and easy. Because I'll end up with y is 4, x is 0, so c is equal to 4. So now I know the answer. Y is equal to 2x plus 4. That is the equation of the line that passes through those 2 points. Let's do one more example. Oh, no. Sorry, let me just write back in the formula. Always good to write down the formula. Every time you're more likely to remember it. Let's go for D. So we're going to go y values taken away from each other. So minus 4 minus minus 4 over 0 minus minus 5. Well, minus 4 minus minus 4 is minus 4 plus 4, which is 0. So it doesn't matter what the denominator is, that's going to be 0. So my gradient of this line is actually 0, which means that it is a horizontal line. And it's a horizontal line that's constantly passing through negative 4. So the equation of this line must simply be y equals negative 4. Okay, so just watch out for ones like that. Y is equal to negative 4. Okay, so let's skip on. So quick check here, find the gradient of the line that passes through 2, 3 and 4, 9. Use the formula. Gradient is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So it's 9 minus 3 over 4 minus 2, which is 6 over 2, which is 3. There's your answer. Okay. Stop your video and have a go at these questions. So find the equations of the lines that pass through these points. Okay, here are the answers. Let me know if you're confused by any of those answers.